Good morning, Renew Kids. It is so good to be with you again this morning, and I hope that you are having a good weekend. I wanted to start out with our calendar, just like we were doing last week. We'll remind ourselves that we are in the season of Lent, a season of preparation, and we are on the 5th Sunday of Lent, so we only have one more week of Lent after this, and then we will be celebrating Resurrection Sunday. So here we are. We've done 5 weeks of Lent, and we only have one Sunday of Lent left. So I'll put this over here. And we are doing a similar thing we did last week. We did 2 stories. So we did a little wondering time in the middle, and then we did a wondering time at the end. So we're going to do the same thing this morning, and we're going to do a story that typically we actually tell next Sunday, which is called Palm Sunday because it has palm branches in the story. But we are going to do it today ahead of time because next week we're going to do a story that is another important story before the crucifixion and the resurrection. So it's a week ahead, but I think you guys can handle it. So, as we were saying, this is the season of Lent, and it is the time when we get ready to celebrate the mystery of Easter. And during Lent, we are all on the road. We are all on the way to Jerusalem. Who will show us the way? Jesus will. Once a year, the people of God would go on a journey to Jerusalem, the holy city of God, to celebrate the Passover, to celebrate when God led them through the waters to freedom. Now this year, when Jesus was on his way, he was going through the city of Jericho. Last week, we were just outside of Jericho when Jesus met Bartimaeus. And now he was still traveling through the city on his way to Jerusalem. And as Jesus was going through the city, crowds of people wanted to see him. People were waiting to see Jesus. Hopefully they'll stand up. Now, Zacchaeus was the chief tax collector in Jericho. Nobody liked Zacchaeus because he took too much of their money and he made himself really rich. But Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus too, but he was really short and the people didn't want to let him through. So he was trying to see Jesus, but he could not see. So Zacchaeus climbed a sycamore tree to get a better view. And as Jesus came to the tree, that wasn't supposed to happen, guys. As Jesus came to the tree, he looked up and he saw Zacchaeus and he called him by name. He said, "Zacchaeus, I need you to come down. I need to stay with you today." And Zacchaeus was so happy he came down right away. And they started going to Zacchaeus' house, and the people were really angry. They said, "Why is Jesus going with Zacchaeus? Zacchaeus is a really bad man. He takes our money that he shouldn't take." So Zacchaeus turned to Jesus and he said, "Jesus, I will give away half of everything I own to the poor. And if I have stolen money from anyone, I will give it back, and 4 times more than that. Jesus looked at Zacchaeus and said, "Today you are right with God and people." And then he turned and he said to them, "I, the special Son of God, have come to find and save everyone who is lost." I wonder what it would be like to be so short that you couldn't see what you wanted to see. I wonder how it felt for Zacchaeus when Jesus called him by name. I wonder if it was hard for Zacchaeus to give back all that money he had taken. I wonder how Zacchaeus felt to know that he was right with God and right with people again. As Jesus traveled on to Jerusalem, he came to Bethphage on the Mount of Olives, and he said to his 2 disciples with him, "Go into the village nearby, and there you will find a donkey and her colt. Untie them and bring them to me. And if anyone asks you anything, say, 'The Lord needs it,' and he will let you go right away." So the 2 disciples went and found it exactly as Jesus had said, and they brought the colt back to him. This happened to fulfill the words of the prophet Zechariah, who had written, "See, your king comes to you, gentle and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." And a great crowd gathered, people who had heard about how he had raised Lazarus from the dead, people who were also coming to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. And they saw Jesus, and they hoped that he would be their king. And when they heard Jesus was near Jerusalem, they came in a big group, and they laid their cloaks out on the road, and they cut palm branches, and they laid them down, saying, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." But the Pharisees said to Jesus, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." But Jesus said, "If they were silent, even the rocks would cry out, Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." And as Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city asked, "Who is this?" And the crowds answered them, saying, "This is Jesus, the prophet from Galilee." Now, I wonder what part of this story you liked best. I wonder which part you think was the most important part. I wonder what kind of king Jesus would be. I wonder what it would be like to live in Jesus' kingdom. And I wonder which part of this story is about you.